They say that the human race is doomed, that we have lost touch with our true nature, that the media has corrupted us, and that the planet has no future. I disagree. I believe that humanity is full of hope, and that our salvation lies within each one of us. My name is Brian Rose, and my job is to listen, the oldest method of learning known to man. Each week I seek out individuals that are changing the world, people who are living and thinking in a different way. Their stories will challenge your beliefs, make you question your choices, and perhaps inspire you to change. I never planned on doing any of this, but now I can't stop. Join me on this mission and make humanity something we can all be proud of. This is London Real. I am Brian Rose. My guest today is Marissa Ingram, recent graduate of our Business Accelerator. Welcome.
Thank you.
Tell us about you. Where are you from? What do you do?
Well, I live in Hawaii, and what I made my business on is helping teenagers understand and let go of their resentment towards their step-parents.
Okay.
I know that I had a lot of resentment towards my stepdad when he came into my life, and it took away so much of my happiness, and I was just done with it. And so I figured out what was going on with me and like why I was feeling that way, and I understood it, and I realized I can help people with it, with their resentment towards their step-parents if they have any, of course.
Wow, that's really fascinating, because I had a stepmother and I'm also a stepdad. And so, it's weird when you're a kid and all of a sudden you have a new male figure or female figure in your life, and they can explain it to you all they want, but you have an emotional reaction to it, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of your niche, your intellectual property, if you will. And why the Business Accelerator? What made you come and see us and choose us?
So I did attend the graduation for my mom when she when she did the BizAc.
Right. So
and
she graduated our Business Accelerator, and she was here last year.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And so I was so inspired by everybody's story. I was here, just as my mom's daughter, and I talked to so many people, and it was just amazing seeing all of their passions being brought to life and being made into a business where they're making profits, and they don't have to be working in a situation that they're unhappy with. And so I thought it was super inspiring, and yeah.
And that's why you wanted to do it.
Absolutely.
And just for the record, how old are you?
I'm 14.
14. And so you're now already thinking ahead and saying, okay, I don't want to work in a job I don't like. I'd love to be able to do my passion for my business.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I have a 14-year-old daughter, and so I hope she's watching and gets inspired by you. All right, so you've been here before, and it's funny because when your mom was here, she was with your stepdad, and he proposed to her.
Oh, yeah.
While they were at the graduation dinner, which you'll be at tonight.
Yes.
That's a very interesting story,
yeah.
right?
I started crying. It was very emotional.
I started crying. It was our first London Real marriage.
Oh, yeah.
So officially. So you kind of know the ethos of the program, but you decided to join. What was it like being in it yourself, going through those first 2 modules and being actually in the community where you're not watching your mom do it, you're in it yourself? And look, these people are older than you. We had someone in my group named Bob Hand, who's 85. There's people in their 30s and 40s and 50s and 20s. What was it like?
Well, I think it was incredibly different than I expected it to be, especially because I feel like when my mom was doing it, the entire class was very joined together and community but for this time it was everybody was staying in their own teams, and that isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it was different. I wasn't quite expecting that, and I realized every time that I join anything where there's going to be a bunch of people and I make a family, a new family, I I underestimate how awesome it's going to feel, and it felt so awesome. It was so much fun.
And I'm guessing your normal peer group are your age?
Oh yeah.
And what's it like, you know, when you have team members that are different ages, and what did they think of you?
Well, I'm actually not quite sure what they thought of me, but I hope it was good things. It is different having people that are older than me on my team and like helping me go through things. And I feel like they might be thinking, oh, like you're too young, like you'll drop out eventually. And like I think that really stayed with me, like that thought process to push me through it and be like, no, I'm gonna prove you wrong, even though so many people have told me that like I've inspired them and like it's amazing like what I'm doing. And so like I know that they weren't actually thinking that, but I feel like, you know, the back of my head was telling me those negative thoughts, and that was actually pushing me. Probably not the best way to be pushed to success, but it worked. So I'm here now, you know.
It takes both energies, you know.
Yeah.
It's like inspiration and desperation, the carrot and the stick. So
Yeah.
sometimes it makes you got to think, like, what will that person think if I quit? And then what will that person think if I win? So whatever it takes. What was the biggest struggle of the course, the hardest thing you found to do?
So when I was, I'm sorry, let me rephrase this.
Yeah.
When I was here last time for the Business Accelerator, when my mom was graduating, I was so inspired, and I think after that I was thinking in the back of my head like, oh, it'd be cool if I joined, like, you know, but I'm too young for that, like I can't do that, you know, like nobody will take me seriously, like I won't sell anything. And so I had like this really bad thought process, and then my mom asked me if I wanted to join because she was a team leader, and I was like, you know what, yes, I would love to join. I thought it was super awesome what you were doing here, and I was so inspired, and I really loved it, and I wanted to experience that for myself. And so I took a chance and I did it, and as soon as I said yes, all of those thoughts had gone away.
Just like that.
Yeah.
What was it like when it was time for the webinar week and you have to put yourself out there live and do all of that stuff? What kind of emotions came up?
Well, I was incredibly nervous, but when I finally did it, it was like a breeze. I didn't feel like I was overwhelmed as much as I thought I was. I did my first webinar. I wasn't prepared quite as much as I could have been, but you know, it's always a learning process, and you're growing every day or every time that you do a webinar. And so I just had to get it done before we came here. And so I was like, okay, I'm going to do a webinar in an hour. So I sent out the invitations. 2 people made it. It was also night here. So, you know, most of the people that were here in London, like they couldn't come see it because they were sleeping.
Right.
And so.
Because you live in Hawaii,
yeah,
so it's a crazy time zone difference.
Exactly. And so 2 people made it, and I sent my replay to a few other people, and I have a few leads. And I'm going to be doing another one soon. So that will definitely boost me up, I think.
Right, and you're speaking about something you're really passionate about, and you know what it's like. So
Yeah.
I think when people connect with you and your message, they're going to be really interested on your perspective. Because no one ever asks the step kids what's going on,
Yeah.
right? It's always older people talking about it from their perspective.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you went into this micro niche, because a lot of people choose things that are less emotional.
Yeah.
So I think you have something here for sure. Next 12 months, like what do you want to do with this? Like where do you want this to grow?
So if 12 months from now, I definitely want to have had a bunch of sales on my low-cost product. I want to have developed my premium product and maybe more than that. And I want to start another course for parents to understand their teenagers and what they're going through when they're in these situations. And so I'll have that launched, definitely, and I'll be making bank. It'll be great.
Making bank, I love it. And I love that course for parents because it's so hard. let's take an example, like, like your stepfather. Like, I come into a situation, right? I don't know what's going on. I don't know how to communicate with a young girl that I've never met. And like, I can try, but we have completely two different, emotional reactions of what's happening. It'd be great to know simple things, like, don't do this, even though it seems obvious that's what you should do.
Yeah.
So I think this is really good knowledge as far as what's happening. What do your friends say about what you're doing?
So before I started the course, I wasn't really on Facebook at all, but I did follow like a lot of my friends on Facebook. And so I like just all of a sudden randomly started posting these videos about business, and I had like tons of people come up to me and they're like, so I saw this video of you, like this vlog of you talking about business, like what are you doing? As if like I shouldn't be doing it. And so I explained it to them and they're like, that's actually so cool. And it was just like, it was so like heartwarming for me because, at first people, they don't think that you can actually achieve like more of a successful relationship with a business, especially at my age and all of my friends, but once they figure out what I'm doing and they realize like I have actually gotten somewhere with it, they're like, that's actually so cool, and they find out the reasons that I'm doing it for, like I just think it was incredibly powerful when my friends reacted at the end point to it, because I wasn't expecting them to react like that.
Right.
Yeah.
People talk a lot about the millennials, right? You probably hear it all the time, and you're like, yeah. But I mean, I don't think what's mostly said is true. I mean, like you said, you show people your age that, look, this is my independence, this is my future, this is an alternative that's different to what my parents did, which was to go to high school and go to college and go here and blah, blah, blah. What don't we understand about your generation? Like, what kind of assumptions are we making that aren't true?
So most people say teenagers now are like always on their phone. Yeah, that one's true.
Okay.
That one's definitely true. But it's not, I feel like people do over-exaggerate how much we might be on our phones. Like, they are surprised when they hear we're only on our phones for like an hour a day or an hour to 2 hours a day. And I mean, there are some that are on their phone like always, but I feel like it's maybe not other places, but definitely at my school, we like to have experiences. And like we like to talk to each other, and we will be on our phones sometimes, but it's not like as extreme as people may think. And maybe we as teenagers are thinking that adults always see us as like on our phones, and so we like are obviously like defensive about it, and we're like, I'm not always on my phone, like I don't know what you're talking about, we are on our phone all the time, but I'm probably not as much as some adults might think.
Probably the same as the adults that are pointing the finger at you. Like, I've seen some adults that are just like the pot calling the kettle black when it comes to that. And look, I think we've seen a lot of things recently with, movements and the movements about guns and stuff in America, where it's like the teenagers are the ones that are shocking everyone else.
Yeah.
That are taking action, that have intelligent viewpoints. I mean, you're a great example. You're like pulling the trigger on something that, I just had someone in here who's 60 years old, and he's finally learning these business techniques, and they're changing his life.
Yeah.
I mean, you're investing in yourself at 14, I wouldn't have done that. So that's powerful. It's very powerful. Talk to me about you and your own like personal development on these 8 weeks. If we walked on the street and found the Marissa that didn't take this course, like, how is she different than you?
So I think definitely before I was taking this course, I always had this mentality that like, oh, like I'm not good enough to do my schoolwork, which is something that I like struggle with a lot. Like, I'm like, okay, so I have homework, but like I don't want to do it because I deserve bad grades. And I don't really know where that was coming from, but ever since I started doing London Real, it was more, I was juggling, but I've been getting the best grades that I've gotten all year, which is really, confusing, but I think it definitely has something to do with the fact that me sitting here in this chair was my goal at the beginning of this accelerator. And I made it, and I know now, and I've known for like the last few weeks, that I am successful and I can be successful, and I'm not good enough, you know. And so I think that definitely impacted everything that I was feeling about myself. I started being more confident, definitely. And, you know, I go around school and people like know, oh yeah, that's the 14-year-old that owns a business, you know, it's not gonna be successful, but like she does. But, you know, I feel like even though I know kids my age would say something like that, because they totally would, I know that I find my experience creating this business as something extraordinary. And so if I were to meet myself, how many years from now did you say?
Oh, well, so this was the one that didn't take this course. And I was just wondering, yeah, I mean, you kind of described like what she was like, you know, and it's just interesting how you say that before you're like saying, I'm not good enough to get those grades, but it's like adults do that all the time too. Like, I'm not good enough to start a business and I'm not good enough to do that. So it's not unique to you at all. And these other girls and boys at school, they're calling you the businesswoman. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Because they're seeing it in you. And I'll honestly say, you seem different than in November when you came with your mom.
Oh yeah, I definitely am.
You're more talkative, more confident. You're making eye contact, and you're the businesswoman and taking care of business as well. So, look, it's amazing what you've done here.
Thank you.
You know, you graduated and you're in the chair. You know, not many people can get in the chair. You're the youngest person I've ever had in the chair, except for my son Caden, and he didn't say much. He just sat there and we took a picture. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
And look, I think all this stuff builds self-esteem. You know, this is an empowering moment for you. And I love the fact that it's affecting your grades, and it should be everything else in your life. I mean, you've just done things in 8 weeks that most people can't do, that are 54, 64, 74, let alone 14. So you got some amazing tools here, but it's not done. So for 12 months, we're going to be watching you. You've got the calls, more webinars, please, more sales, and you've got a great product here. And you literally are living your brand. You were at the masterclass last night, and you pretty much embody this. So really looking forward to what you're going to do.
Thank you.
If there's any 14-year-olds listening out there that are thinking about starting a business, what would you say to them, whether they want to do it or wait, or what's your advice?
Bug your parents to pay for this course if you can on your own, because it is gold. It is absolutely wonderful. It didn't just impact me having a business, it also impacted like my outside life, like I was saying, my grades and everything, and it's an incredible experience. Like, I really love what you do here, and it empowered me so much. And everybody just like being able to fulfill their passions in a business-like manner is wonderful, and I really love it. So join this course if you can, do it.
It's been awesome having you here.
Thank you.
Welcome to the family, but I should say welcome the family to the family, because your mom, Mary Alexandra, is a team leader now on the course. Your stepfather has been in the chair as well, so it's a weird family because all of you have been on London Reel.
Oh yeah, this chair runs in our family now.
That's a pretty cool family, and I know you guys sell coffee, and your mom brought me some coffee, so look, it's great having you guys, the energy and everything this weekend. Thank you so much for going all in and for doing the work. You know, you really did it. And so I'm going to be watching you and seeing what this does to human beings, because we've never had anyone your age. So as we say, it's about the journey. Let's do some big things in 12 months, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
London Reel doesn't stop when the conversation ends. You see, that's when we get started. Because everything begins with a thought, and then comes the action. The London Reel Academy is our global transformation platform. Here we bring together thousands of students from over 75 countries. Whether you want to build a profitable business from your passion, or learn to speak to inspire, or broadcast yourself with your very own podcast, or accelerate your life to become a high-performance person, we have the online accountability course and personal mentoring program that will make your dream a reality. Join us, and we'll take your life to the next level together. Our next accelerator course is starting soon.